Hey love bug. So today is going to be the relationship, what's going on and what's to come for Pisces and Virgo, okay? So whenever I pulled the cards, obviously I always want to see what the issue is and who's having the problem with what sign. So with Pisces, in regards to the Virgo, the problem that the Pisces doesn't have a problem. In this situation, we got the lessons and blessings card. So this is telling me that Pisces has really learned how to take painful events and turn them into something that is a lesson rather than something that's holding them back. Now, so that means that the Pisces is doing rather well. In regards to the Virgo, we have the forgiveness card. So Virgo is on their way to getting to that same energy that Pisces is having. The only difference is with Virgo, when we have the forgiveness card here, it's basically saying that there is a sense of resentment that has not been fixed yet within the Virgo. It's causing them to be moody, to maybe not be as enjoyable as they could be, even if they are working through getting through something that they took a very long time to get through. But it seems as though it's more about the Virgo letting go of what they feel instead of harping on whatever it is that they're harping on. I also feel like there's a situation that is involving the Virgo to feel as though they cannot forgive themselves. And I think that's the major problem. Maybe they feel like, I can't believe I stayed to try to fix something. Maybe they feel like, I can't believe I went through something like this. It's like a resentment with themselves, and it's causing a lot of moodiness and anger, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. The past, present, and future energy. Okay, so we got the first card out, past, present, and future. Okay, so in the past, we have the Emperor card upright. Okay, so this makes me feel like there was a lot of rules that were already set in place, and I think it was just a matter of already having this set boundary of what's expected from both parties in the situation. I actually feel very good about this. I actually feel like it's more of just a secure type of relationship, but I do think it's very built on structure, and that's probably coming from the Virgo. So let's see why there was structure. Okay, so it was balanced. So it was a balanced structure, so that's even better. I definitely feel like this was a soul connection. I feel like both of you came together to teach each other something about each other, if that makes sense. So you guys came into each other's life to do that. The problem is at the bottom we have the Justice card in reverse. So it started off as balanced. Pisces was already balanced because they had figured out how to forgive, not to bring old trauma into something new. And so it had more of a temperance feel to it. Not that the Virgo didn't have that balance, but it seems as though with Justice in reverse, this is definitely imbalanced. So I'm thinking the Virgo maybe just had some things that were not justified yet. Let's see if it was who it was in regards to. This Virgo, why were they unbalanced? Okay, so we have the communication card in truth. And so the Ace of Swords definitely is saying that there was an imbalance in communication and honesty. Yeah, with themselves though, because this is the card that I use for Virgo. So it was almost like maybe they had a lot to learn about themselves, and they could have went through a period where it was really, really hard to keep everything in. Instead of being, you know, a little bit more practical as an earth sign, I feel like they were very, like I said, moody. And maybe just let out a lot, and they became very, very vulnerable in a situation before. And so now whenever they get to that feeling, they don't want any help. They don't want to reach out because I think that they are in a position where they don't want to need help. And so it seems like a lot of these things are past issues, or if it's not from the past, it seems as though it's just because this Virgo is learning. Even if they're, you know, middle age, older, it seems as though they're still a rookie. They're still the student in this relationship. They're still learning how to love. And in a lot of ways, they don't have full control over their emotions just yet. It really comes from them just not communicating, or them having trouble communicating. And maybe for some Virgos, it's like they communicate and it always blows up. It's just too much anger. There's a resentment, like I said, that's really holding them back from having the energy of the Queen of Pentacles here. And so all of this is stopping them from being, you know, practical, cool, calm, and collected, really on top of their shit. Even if they are the most organized person ever, it's like when it comes to emotions and speaking, they just don't have that talent, or they don't have that skill honed yet to themselves. And I feel like the Pisces is really here to help teach the Virgo how to have that healing type of energy, how to move past things. Not to say that the Pisces is perfect, but I do feel like the Pisces has a lot to do or a lot to show them. Even if the Pisces doesn't know, they definitely have a lot to show this Virgo. And I feel like there's a sense of aid and almost an angelic vibe from the Pisces to the Virgo, who is also an angel in aspects, you know. It's almost like the Virgo needs someone, or this Pisces is being that person for the Virgo. So in the past, that's what was happening. So when we moved to the, so it seems as though it was really all on Virgo's part. Let's see if this was coming from this relationship or a past relationship. Coming from this relationship. Yeah, so I don't think it was coming from this relationship. I think it was a past situation that caused this Virgo to be the way that this Virgo is. And we all know that when Virgos are not balanced, or whenever they're going through a lot of rough times, they can be really, really hard to be around. But this Pisces seems like they really want things to work. We even have the Two of Cups here. So it's like they really value this union that is here. And they feel like it's harmonious, but they still... It's the Virgo that has some things that need to be fixed, or it's the Virgo that has to get over some things, like I said. But I don't even think it has anything to do with this relationship, but it is definitely present in the relationship because, you know, it's the reason why the Virgo is feeling a certain type of way. When we move to the present energy, we have the Moon card, okay? So when we have the Moon card, this can mean things are very wishy-washy. Something is revealed. It is not in reverse, so I do think that it could be something that just needed to be understood in regards to the situation. So let's see what was needed to be revealed. What was revealed in the present time with this situation? Seven of Cups. Okay, so someone was feeling very overwhelmed. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Leo card. So with the Leo card, the Sun card, excuse me, there could be a child in the picture that reveals something to someone, or this child could have been kind of a tool in this situation to show each of the people in the relationship why they feel overwhelmed. They could have been a part of that. But I do feel that it's more about having, you guys have what you want in this situation, but whoever is overwhelmed, this is what needed to be revealed. Someone is feeling very, very overwhelmed in the situation. Let's see, who's feeling overwhelmed? Okay, so it seems as though, because we do have a Pentacles, the Earth signs cards here. So this could be the Virgo, again, feeling overwhelmed. But I think it's because they feel as though they're not succeeding. Or maybe they made bad decisions with money. And it's translating to where they need to get to a point where they're logical about things. And I feel like for some reason it's not being supported. There's been signs about this the whole way. It could also be that because the Virgo is so overwhelmed, they made a bad decision and trying to leave something that they weren't ready to leave. And so then they had to explain why they were going through all these things. I really feel like the Virgo is going through these cycles to unearth why they feel unfulfilled. And with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, this is saying they're not comfortable or necessarily feeling comfortable with the things that they have. And I think this is something that, you know, keeps them going in this continuous cycle within themselves. It's almost like they need to communicate, but they can't even get past communicating in their brain just yet. It's like their mind is taking over. And so now, yeah, with the King of Swords, it's like there has to be some logic that comes into this. There has to be a way to calculate the way that the mind is thinking. So then what is the Pisces here for? What is the Pisces showing up as? What is the Pisces showing up as? Okay, so the Pisces is showing up with the Six of Swords. So at one point they were the person that was helping them transition, but now they aren't. And I don't think it's because they aren't being a good person towards this Virgo. I just think the Virgo is at a point where they have to do a lot of growth almost by themselves. The Pisces is also showing up as the light at the end of the tunnel. Even though this is the Aquarius card, I feel like the Pisces is here to kind of remind the Virgo what life can be. And the Pisces has been here with this Virgo since, you know, in the past. So it's like they're there, but I don't know if the Virgo is remembering or valuing that. I almost feel like the Virgo is pushing away. It's like they're pushing the Pisces away in some instances. They're not giving their all. And I feel like the Pisces is here because they love this person with all their heart, but it's almost like they don't know if they're doing the right thing by staying. Yeah. What does the Virgo need to do to fix the situation? So they need to end either how they feel or end the situation with this person, because at the end of the day, they're going through all of these cycles. And I don't think it's fair to the Pisces, quite frankly. I just don't, because I think the Pisces has done a lot of work on themselves. And not to say that they're perfect, but I feel like the Virgo just has a lot of internal issues that need to be dealt with. But this could also be saying that they need to, I think it's more about they need to just move on from their past resentment. They need to move on from that anger and all of that stuff. But that comes from within. Because we have the Four of Cups here. So it's like you need to end all of this paying attention to, looking down. You need to look up now, Virgo, okay? In order for this to all work, you need to end how you're feeling and move on to something better. Not to say you need to move on to a new person, but I'm saying you need to move on from all of that anger that you're harboring. It's not just anger though, it's like a resentment. That's the best way to put it, because I don't think it's always violent, but I think it's something that hinders you from being able to communicate. I feel like it makes you make bad decisions. I feel like you think about things and you harp on them when it probably isn't necessary. And I feel like this Pisces is here to kind of help you get through that, but at the same time, you don't want to pull someone down who's trying to be there for you. What does Pisces need to do in the situation? Because nobody's perfect. So what does Pisces need to do in the situation? We have the Three of Swords and it came out this way. So they have to also be willing to understand the letdown and make their own decision. Yeah, they have to make their decision on how they feel about the past issues. And kind of do some self-evaluating as well. Especially if this Pisces did something wrong to the Virgo and that's why they're upset. They need to do some self-evaluating and make sure that now that they've done the work on themselves, make sure that's translated to the Virgo. And make sure the communication is open in that sense. And make sure the Virgo feels comfortable and gives them a reason to want to stop harboring all of these issues. I feel like the Pisces had a moment where they might have done something they weren't supposed to do. But it was a lesson that they learned from the lesson. They did. But the Virgo still is having a very hard time forgiving. And so this Pisces needs to do maybe a better job at communicating and showing that they're different and showing like they've progressed, they've matured, because I am seeing that they, have moved on to bigger and better things with this lessons and blessings. Okay, so this is and I also feel like the Virgo may feel like I stayed with you during this, so they feel like they always can hang that over the Pisces head. But the Virgo, like I said, you have to forgive yourself. If you're going to always bring up something like that, but you stayed in it, especially if this Pisces is showing that they are here for you and they want to do better, they have been doing better, then you kind of have to set your swords down sometimes. You can't always have that same anger towards something that you were supposed to let go of, So that's what's happening here, okay? Also, the Pisces, I would say you need to make sure that you are setting the energy for what you want in the future. It's not all going to be fixed in one day, but you need to know what you want. And if you feel like this is something that you can't wait on anymore, then by all means express that. But I do feel like this is a situation that can be worked on if you would like it to, but it really just depends on the Virgo and the Pisces mindset, okay? So moving on to the future, we have the Ten of Wands, okay? So this is saying someone needs to let something go. So let's see if this is about the actual relationship or they're just saying they need to let go of their past hurt. What needs to be let go? Okay, so this cycle is not completed. So this leads me to believe that work needs to be done. Work just has to be done in this situation. If you want things to work, there's going to have to be like this construction period. But it has to be actively pursued. We have the Hierophant here, so this is Taurus popping up, but it's more so about making a plan and committing to it until it's finished. Having that determination, that stubbornness to fix what needs to be done. The strength of this relationship is presenting itself here, and the protection that you guys provide for each other, I think, is very beautiful, but you have to work on it. Eight of Pentacles. You have to work and invest in the situation so that, it could be something that it was, because I do think it was something of worth investing in and worth keeping. We even have the Hangman here upright. So Pisces is showing up very strong. The Pisces, when we have the Ace of Wands here. So Pisces, you're going to have to, you know, put in action. It may not be enough for you to just be like, look, I'm here. I understand. You can be mad at me all you want. Maybe you're going to have to put in some more action. Definitely put in more action. But I'm saying maybe show that you're being passionate now. Kind of put in that work to pursue the happiness of the Virgo. Because I do feel like the Virgo wants to heal things, but I feel like they think that you're not putting enough effort into it. But also the Virgo is going to have to put in effort into wanting to forgive you as well, because this has been something that's been going on for a while. And so it's like, if you guys want it to work, you're going to have to both do your parts. So in the future, I do see that this is probably going to stay together. I think it'll actually turn out for the better, you know, for you guys. Four of Wands. I think it'll be maybe even a marriage, you know what I'm saying, coming through, or this could be a marriage. But I do see it becoming better, but you guys have to actively put that work into it, and that's just the truth. And it's going to take a little grit, but at the same time, you guys have stayed here. You guys have worked from a very structured place of balance. You're just going to have to take on that initiative once again and really actively pursue to work on it. And if you can't, then maybe you should leave it alone. But I do see most of Pisces and Virgo, the relationship in this dynamic, you guys are both okay as people. It's just about, in this relationship, actively showing each other that you have grown, you have progressed. And even for the Virgo, you have to show that you've grown past things. You have to show that you're mature about what's going on, and you know that you made the decision to stay. So you need to make sure that you're staying and actively being part of the relationship, and not just shutting down every time you feel something is wrong. And so, yeah, you guys have to be each other's angels in a sense, okay? That was a really nice read. If you have a specific relationship of the two signs that you want to see, this was a requested video. So if you want to see your relationship next, then go ahead and comment that down below. Help me to help you guys, okay? I'm Love from a Leo. If you would like a personal or private reading, you can email me at lovefromaleo@gmail.com. And yeah, I'm Love from a Leo. If I'm not your favorite Leo, then one day I will be. And until next time, my Pisces or Virgo, I'll see you very, very soon.